Officials today saying that Food Network chef Anne Burrell died by suicide last month.
The silence that lingered for months after the sudden death of Anne Burrell seemed as though it would never be broken until the one man who witnessed her final days unexpectedly spoke out. What stunned the public was not a familiar account, but the details he mentioned, details strikingly different from the strong, energetic image Anne had always presented to millions of viewers. Step into a journey that reveals the fragments, prompting many to reassess everything from the beginning. Born in Cazenovia, New York on September 21, 1969, Anne Burrell grew up in an environment that emphasized diligence and discipline. A strong influence from her mother Marlene helped shape her early interest in cooking and nurtured her desire to pursue a professional path. Observing renowned chefs on television, particularly Julia Child, provided an important source of inspiration for Anne Burrell. Contemporary cooking shows allowed her to envision a future career while establishing an understanding of a direct, approachable style of culinary presentation.
Pot roast today. We are going to use some super secret flavor weapons. So I have my chuck roast. We'll get back to that in 1 second.
That means that they've been out of the water for the least amount of time. You know, lobster meat is very sweet. They come from the ocean. I'm gonna make some water that's salty to peel this guy. You cut to the back of the onion, but not through the back of the onion. Don't cut anything off. No cutting off. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut the hairy end off.
Her studies at Canisius College enabled Anne Burrell to accumulate knowledge in language and communications. This background is considered a valuable foundation for the clear, forceful presentation style she later displayed in public appearances and television-related projects.
I hope our staff wrote, well, more daytime questions than what they were playing in that movie, right?
Is there some bourbon in this tea?
I know, right?
That,
we need some confidence. Hey, look at my beautiful lobsters. Let's talk about these babies. So I cooked them in some boiling water for 11 minutes, and the water was perfumed.
The decision to continue training at the Culinary Institute of America in 1996 marked a clear shift in Anne Burrell's professional trajectory. The intensive educational environment helped her develop ingredient handling skills, workflow organization, and the application of high professional standards in the kitchen. Participation in advanced courses in Italy provided Anne Burrell with a distinct perspective on cuisine, emphasizing simplicity and original flavors. Exposure to European culinary methods contributed to the development of a personal style that she maintained consistently for many years. Upon returning to the United States, Anne Burrell began her career at Felidia, under the guidance of Lydia Bastianich. This setting allowed her to engage directly with professional kitchen operations and understand the pressures present in prominent New York restaurants. Time spent working at Savoy further expanded Anne Burrell's practical experience. The combination of formal training and observation of colleagues supported the development of situational problem-solving skills and an understanding of the unique pace of the food service industry. Her decision to become an instructor at the Culinary Institute of America marked an important advancement in her role as an educator. A practical, direct, and instructional approach was highly regarded, assisting many young chefs in shaping professional working methods. Participation in Iron Chef America in 2005 as a sous chef for Mario Batali brought Anne Burrell closer to a mainstream audience. This appearance demonstrated her ability to perform under intense competitive pressure and laid the groundwork for broader television exposure. The success of programs such as Secrets of a Restaurant Chef, Worst Cooks in America, Chef Wanted Vegas, Chef Prize Fight, and House of Knives reinforced Anne Burrell's position in culinary television. Clear communication and decisiveness created a distinct presence that attracted large audiences over many years. Her achievement on Chopped All Stars in 2015 further strengthened Anne Burrell's standing within the culinary community. The victory, accompanied by a $75,000 donation to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, reflected an effort to align professional work with community values. The books Cook Like a Rock Star and Own Your Kitchen marked an expansion of her influence beyond television. Both publications achieved strong sales, bringing Anne Burrell's cooking style to a wider readership and reinforcing her personal brand in publishing. Continued involvement in charitable activities, including support for City Harvest and the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation, demonstrated a consistent approach to integrating work with humanitarian goals. This emphasis contributed to a public image that appeared both accessible and enduring. A straightforward cooking style focused on optimizing flavor and clear technique enabled Anne Burrell to establish a stable identity in a competitive culinary market. This approach not only reinforced her professional position, but also created a lasting influence within the food enthusiast community. The growing scope of Anne Burrell's influence reflected a close alignment between expertise, consistency, and effective communication. These elements formed the basis of a long-standing career that received widespread recognition. Achievements accumulated through each professional endeavor highlighted discipline and determination in Anne Burrell's development. A clear, practical approach and continuous refinement allowed her to maintain a stable image within the rapidly evolving culinary industry. From a career at its peak and a source of inspiration, to many, Anne eventually found personal happiness later in life through love. A happy marriage. The meeting with Stuart Claxton through the Bumble app quickly created a strong connection. Both recognized many similarities in their ways of thinking and life orientations, allowing the relationship to be maintained naturally and to develop steadily over time. Early exchanges between Anne Burrell and Mr. Stewart showed that they shared many common values. Understanding each other's needs helped both build a solid foundation, creating favorable conditions to move toward a serious and more committed relationship. The decision to become engaged was made by Mr. Stewart in April 2020 amid a period of widespread uncertainty. The event was publicly announced and drew attention from audiences who followed Anne Burrell's professional and personal activities. The wedding of Mrs. Anne and Mr. Stewart took place on October 16, 2021 in Cazenovia, New York. Choosing a location connected to her hometown reflected a desire to maintain family closeness while providing a welcoming setting for friends and colleagues. The presence of Rachel Ray in the role of bridesmaid highlighted the close bonds among friends within the same field. This also underscored Anne Burrell's standing in the culinary television community, where she maintained many lasting relationships. Married life with Anne Burrell was described as harmonious and stable. She expressed appreciation for Mr. Stewart in various public statements, indicating the level of trust and mutual support they shared in their family life. Becoming a stepmother to Mr. Stewart's children, Javier, Isabella, Amelia, and Nicholas, introduced a new role for Anne Burrell. She actively took part in shared activities, forming natural bonds and helping create a positive living environment for the entire family. Family meals were regarded as an important point of connection, helping Mrs. Anne maintain habits of sharing and communication with her husband's children. A calm and respectful approach was seen as appropriate, contributing to harmony within the household. Shared trips organized by the couple served to strengthen connections among family members. Balancing a demanding work schedule with family responsibilities reflected Anne Burrell's efforts to maintain a stable family foundation. In many interviews, Anne Burrell stated that she once did not believe marriage was a choice for her. The presence of Mr. Stewart changed that view, illustrating the positive impact of the relationship on her personal direction. Public remarks made by Mrs. Anne about Mr. Stewart indicated satisfaction with their life together. Her description of marriage as a wonderful adventure reflected the ease and trust both maintained in everyday activities. A balance between television work and family life was sustained through careful schedule adjustments. This allowed her more time with her husband and stepchildren while preserving effectiveness in her professional commitments. Positive influence from married life was noted by many around her. Maintaining stability within the family provided Anne Burrell with added motivation to refine herself and continue pursuing important work projects. The relationship between Anne Burrell and Mr. Stewart demonstrated effective coordination in mutual support. Initiative and respect enabled both to maintain balance, allowing each to pursue individual goals without affecting harmony. Favorable feedback from friends and colleagues regarding Mrs. Anne's life reflected the stability brought by marriage. This was regarded as a notable period in her personal life, marking clear personal development. Family life with Mrs. Anne continued to maintain stability throughout the years they shared together. Everyday activities involving her Mr. Stewart and the children were considered an important element in sustaining the relationship's durability. Audience assessments of Anne Burrell during this time remained consistently positive. Her appearances with an upbeat and active image on television programs demonstrated an effective balance between work and family. The combination of professional activity and a stable marriage created a well-rounded public image for Anne Burrell. Sustaining this state over an extended period reflected her efforts to adjust in alignment with new life goals. That brief family happiness intensified the sense of loss when a sudden tragedy occurred only a few years after the wedding, leaving behind questions about hidden pain. A sudden tragedy. The morning of June 17, 2025 marked the moment when Mr. Stewart Claxton discovered Mrs. Anne Burrell unconscious in the bathroom of their Brooklyn home. Information from the emergency call indicated that medical personnel confirmed she showed no signs of life upon arriving at the scene. The initial report from first responders referenced suspected cardiac arrest, as there were no visible signs of external injury. On-site details were recorded in a neutral manner to support the official verification process conducted by the City Medical Examiner's Office. The discovery of multiple medications found near the body was immediately included in the preliminary data. These details did not represent a final conclusion, but were used to support toxicology analysis, a critical step in determining the cause of death. Examination of the scene showed no indications of external interference. Investigators confirmed there were no signs of disturbance inside the home and no evidence suggesting the presence of a third party. This ruled out the possibility of criminal involvement. The official conclusion released by the New York City Office of the Chief Medical Examiner on July 24, 2025, identified the case as a suicide. The report stated that Mrs. Anne died from acute intoxication, meaning acute poisoning caused by a combination of diphenhydramine, ethanol, cetirizine, and amphetamine. Information from toxicology analysis indicated that the levels of these substances in Mrs. Anne's body exceeded safe thresholds by multiple margins. The combination directly affected the central nervous system and cardiac function, leading to an irreversible condition. The simultaneous presence of stimulants and antihistamines in the test samples indicated a high risk of interaction. Experts stated that such combinations increase respiratory suppression, reduce survival responses, and can lead to rapid loss of consciousness. The NYPD confirmed that no signs of assault or external intervention were identified. This reinforced the conclusion that Mrs. Anne Burrell's death resulted from self-inflicted actions based on scientific analysis and scene evidence. Friends and colleagues stated that Mrs. Anne continued to appear healthy in activities close to the time of the incident. This information drew public attention, as no clear signs indicated she was experiencing mental or physical health difficulties. 1 week prior to the incident, Mrs. Anne participated in an improv comedy performance in New York and was noted as cheerful and functioning normally. This was considered comparative data, providing investigators with additional context regarding her condition before death. Several psychology experts interviewed by the media offered assessments regarding the possible presence of perfectly hidden depression. This condition is often difficult to detect, as individuals maintain a stable outward appearance in daily life. Even so, no publicly available medical records confirmed that Mrs. Anne had previously been diagnosed with a psychological disorder. The analyses presented were for reference purposes only, not intended as official conclusions or binding medical evidence. The verification process conducted by authorities focused on toxicology data, the scene and statements from relevant individuals. These elements were sufficient to form the final report without requiring expansion into a criminal investigation, as no irregularities were identified. Family members stated that Mrs. Anne did not display noticeable changes in the weeks leading up to the incident. Mr. Stewart and those close to her observed no concerning signs, making the development difficult to anticipate and widely noted upon disclosure. Colleagues in the television industry reported that Mrs. Anne's work schedule remained stable. Participation in multiple new projects was recorded as proceeding smoothly without unusual pressure within her professional environment. Details of the incident were quickly reported by American and international media outlets. Public attention intensified because Mrs. Anne was widely known for her energetic image, creating a stark contrast between public perception and the official investigative findings. Determining the cause of death through scientific analysis helped establish a clear record of the incident. The detailed report from the medical examiner was regarded as the sole basis for explaining events, limiting inaccurate speculation in public discourse. Investigation results confirmed consistency between the scene witness statements and toxicology findings. This alignment contributed to closing the verification process concerning the sudden passing of Mrs. Anne Burrell. The silence following the incident quickly drew attention before the family issued an official response. A lasting legacy. The joint statement described Mrs. Anne as a wife, a sister, a daughter, and a stepmother who consistently created a positive atmosphere. The details in the message served an informational purpose, affirming her place in personal life and family routines amid public attention. After completing the related procedures, Mr. Stewart shared his personal perspective, emphasizing the loss experienced by the family. His remarks described Mrs. Anne as his closest life partner and a source of motivation in both family life and professional activities. Mr. Stewart's statements were widely cited by the media, in which he referred to a desire to uphold the values Mrs. Anne pursued. The content emphasized authenticity, perseverance, and the way she inspired others throughout her working life. The television industry noted a swift response from colleagues and friends. Figures such as Rachel Ray, Robert Irvine, Gigi Hadid, Buddy Valastro, and Carla Hall each offered tributes reflecting recognition of the influence Mrs. Anne left within popular culinary culture. A statement from Food Network identified Mrs. Anne as an important talent who made significant contributions to shaping the style of culinary presentation on television. The announcement highlighted her role in training newcomers, spreading knowledge, and fostering a positive atmosphere in professional projects. Memorial activities were held in New York and Los Angeles with the participation of friends, colleagues, and followers of Mrs. Anne. These activities included fundraising candlelight vigils and the sharing of recipes as a way to honor her contributions. Many charitable projects were continued to maintain the goals Mrs. Anne pursued. The family announced ongoing support for organizations such as Juvenile Diabetes and City Harvest to ensure these efforts were not interrupted after the incident. fans acknowledged Mrs. Anne's influence by resharing images, recipes, and moments that had appeared on television. These actions helped preserve her presence within the culinary enthusiast community. The program Worst Cooks in America aired its 30th season in early 2026 and dedicated a special tribute segment to Mrs. Anne. Producers stated that this recognition honored her role and contributions over more than a decade with the show. Mrs. Anne's posthumous appearance on the program Wildcard Kitchen also drew attention from viewers. These episodes were filmed before the incident, and producers chose to keep them unchanged to respect her professional efforts. Colleagues in the industry stated that Mrs. Anne's influence lay in her ability to convey knowledge in a clear and direct manner. Many who worked alongside her noted that she consistently supported newcomers and sought to improve program quality. Mr. Stewart's family stated that memorial activities would continue in the coming period. The primary objective was to preserve the values Mrs. Anne left behind through community connection and the promotion of positive initiatives related to food and education. Numerous media analyses observed that Mrs. Anne's presence contributed to expanding the reach of popular culinary programs. Her method of delivering information was regarded as suitable for diverse audiences and capable of creating long-term connection. Organizations that previously collaborated with Mrs. Anne have continued their activities to spread the message she championed. This approach has been regarded as a way to acknowledge the contributions she made to culinary television. Interest in programs featuring Mrs. Anne increased significantly after the incident. Viewers revisiting older episodes reflected the level of influence she maintained on audience viewing habits over many years. Several dining establishments in New York organized activities displaying photographs or dishes associated with Mrs. Anne's name. These actions were considered voluntary forms of tribute by the community independent of any official program. Mr. Stewart's family continued to affirm their intention to preserve Mrs. Anne's legacy in a respectful manner aligned with her previous working spirit. These statements were widely published and received agreement from the following community. A conclusion about Anne Burrell's life reflects a journey shaped by professional dedication, family responsibility, and lasting values she contributed to the broader community. Details made public after the incident have allowed audiences to better understand the scope of her influence and the consistency of her work across many years. That legacy continues through memorial efforts, television programs, and ongoing recognition from viewers and colleagues. If you would like to keep following carefully structured and in-depth stories like this, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share your thoughts in the comments below.